this talk because I want you will understand what. 2009, end of 2009, my father, who passed away in between, my father went to hospital and he had to be sedated, and finally he stayed sedated during 3 weeks. And during these 3 weeks, I felt like time was flying. I felt like I was, like in another dimension. So I started meditating, and I made, very spiritual approach with meditation, and I took a book from Deepak Chopra, and like just like this, in the bookshop, and what I found in the book, it is not at all what I expected. Like I didn't take this book for that, but what I found was even much better. And it was about the power of intention. And my path went deeper. And finally, my father went out from sedation. I continued my meditation. Okay, so I am a trainer in public speaking. I have that time I had my training center, and things were very well for me, very, very well. Okay, like I was recognized, and like it was super, super, super. Okay, um, okay. So and then I start like meditating, calming down. And when I made this meditation, a lot of pictures came into my mind, like sort of kaleidoscope pictures, like very, like this. Like I didn't understand what it was, but I understood like I had to paint them. I had to paint them. I was living in an apartment, and suddenly I went to the painting shop and bought some colors and started painting, and and finally, I didn't. And the more I meditated, and the more I was having this color thing, and like and the feeling I had with painting, like I was like in ecstasy, like I was having a dimension of energy. Like people like, are you taking cocaine, Françoise? No, 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 it is my natural state. So I was working. So finally, after 3 weeks, like it was very fast, because I am something like this, someone like this, like going for it. I don't question, I go for it, and I question after. Because I am a creative person. So whatever happens, like I will always find a solution. So I was just, surfing on this wave, and, single, having my training center. So working and painting, working. So after 3 weeks, my living room was transformed into a painting room, a painting with a lot of meditating and working and sleeping 5 hours a day. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I was like, just like ink. It was just incredible. And the people I trained, elite, like elite, top of the top. Okay, so the training was like two sorts of training: English and public speaking. So for the English, I was like, do you know what's happening to me? Like, I didn't mind. I didn't care at all. Do you know what's happening to me? I paint, like what you paint? Yes, I paint. Like people, they were laughing at me, they were staring me down nicely, because I am nice and I have trained them for years, and they were kind and polite, but they were laughing at me. Do you have some pictures? Some people were curious. Do you have some pictures about what you are painting? And I say, yes. And I started, I felt something big happened. I felt something big. And then like I I had a friend who makes very good pictures, and I made very good pictures. And then I went to my English lessons. So this is my book. Ah, you have a book? Yeah, I have a book, professional book. After 1 month, like, and then like going and painting, and I was painting as I was breathing. Like I didn't imagine, like I discovered, I was fascinated, la 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 la. And like the people watched me with another side, like, huh? How long have you painted for? 3 weeks, sir. Yeah, excuse me. What? Yes. Okay. So one night, I am invited uh, for professional reasons. One evening to evening party with elite. I am in elite people around. Like top in Marseille, in the south of France, and I see a guy. I was having yellow pants, a pair of yellow pants, and I saw a guy like knowing the person who invited me, telling, uh, can you ask my driver to la la la, I don't know. Like I say, okay, this guy has a driver, what? And then I was curious, like who this guy is. And okay, so very high level, like high level educated and a little old, and like I can understand, like he's from a very high level family and with high education, traveling, a very good background, cultural, everything. And he's telling me, and you, what do you do? And I traveled, I speak several languages, I have higher education and so on. And I said, and you know what's happening to me? I paint. Yeah, he told me, what do you paint? And he's telling me, and we start discussing, and he's telling me, okay, I am art collectioner, so I am interested. Uh, so, uh, so he gave me his personal number, and I sent him an email. He told me send me some pictures. The hours after, I came back home and like, I just sent an email and okay. And okay, he sent back to me, and okay, interesting. You will come to my house to for you to I need you to see other artists and to develop, and I need to introduce you to some other people and la la la. And beginning of the year, it was at the end of the year, beginning of the year, at the radio station, the local radio station, I hear art collectioner was stolen in his house, because in his house I knew he had Picasso, and a very rich guy, a billionaire guy. Okay, so and then for the beginning of the year, you see how daring. I called him. I said, I am very sorry for what happened to you. He told me 31 pieces of art from Picasso, from, but he was so, ego and so on. Like he let people, a lot of bad people come into his house just to show off. And finally, he was stolen, because of that. So, and he told me, yes, thank you very much, and so on. I said to him, but if you need to invest in a young artist, here I am. He told me, oh, you are a very daring person. I said, yes, of course. He told me, okay, I am inviting you for a lunch, and I will introduce you to artists and so on. And I continued painting. And the thing is, I attracted, people and I understood, but I didn't try to understand what happened to me. I just experienced it, you know. And I didn't try. And finally, my level of energy, and the thing is, that time, I could understand like what I painted was just extraordinary. I let it go and so on. And I started selling my paintings. Like, imagine you wake up in the morning, the day after you paint as you never painted before, and the day after you sell. And I didn't sell like 100, 200 euros. I sold 1,000, 1,500 euros. Like, what's happening? My mother came and to me, oh, come. And I was thinking, okay, now I was, having my workshop, my painting workshop and so on. And I was like, okay, I need a photographer to paint, to see myself and to picture myself and so on. My mother invited me to a very big party 2 or 3 days after. And uh and the only guy I met was a photographer. And 5 days after, he was in my workshop and making pictures of me and so on. Okay. Okay. All this continued for a while, and after it stopped because I I made some personal choices, and I met the father of my daughter. And just after I met him, he became ill. He became ill, and because he was not French in France, he didn't speak French. And I went with him for hospitals and so on, and I had to give up everything. I had to give up everything. And then I got pregnant. I had my daughter, and I had another path. Okay, having all these paintings, and inside myself I felt extremely bad, extremely sad, extremely uh, guilty as well, because I was feeling sad. I was having a daughter. I was like, okay, how can I feel sad with having a baby? Because I was, it was like, so I started a path of personal and spiritual development, and I fell on Joe Dispenza, a video of Joe Dispenza explaining these color things and so on. And I said, okay, at least I am not the only one to have experienced this. So I started understanding, and all, like, I couldn't paint anymore, but I went through Oponopono, the Hawaii technique, to understand, like, finally it is part of me, and it is just a question of time because I love it and so on. And I took advantage of this finally choice I made to take care of my family and to give up this, because I didn't have any choice. Like, it was hospital, clinic, physiotherapy, like, during years, it was lasting years. And it was another life. And I was, I didn't have, except, okay, I choose to only paint and to give up my family, but it was not my choice. I love them. So what can I do? I will not choose painting versus my daughter and my husband. So this is what I did. But having this into my heart, and then taking advantage to understand the path, the energy. So I went from Dispenza to Vishen Lakhiani to all this, and to understand the life of Jesus, to understand everything, to understand, like, not everything, because of course nobody understands everything, but to understand how it works. Finally, I divorced with the father of my daughter, and the first thing I wanted to do when I divorced is to go back to painting, because it was in my blood, in my DNA. And this is what I did. So it was 6 years ago, but I didn't want to exhibit because I was doing performances and so on. But the thing is, this path made me understand finally how bending the universe, I don't know if you know what I mean, like finally, if you connect to the energy heart and what you have very strongly into your guts, makes the energy and the universe bend to what you want finally. And it is this, so finally, when it is about self-development, when it is about what you want to do in life and what your success is, and this is the part of it, what I want to inspire people with this story and with my paintings. And this is what I want to say, it is finally the knowledge of how what is inside in your heart deeply, and like what is imposed to you, like you will crave, for it. You will just, you will die for it. I exaggerate a little, but you want to give your life into it. And finally, it is making your life, there is no time anymore, and the energy is so high level that everything is coming to you just naturally. And this, I experienced it. And now, I have acquired knowledge about how all this field of energy works, because I had time to explore, I had experience to explore. First, I experienced it without understanding it, and that made it very powerful. And now I understand it. And with this understanding and my public speaking activity, and I understood that what I want to do now, and this is why I'm recording it, I want to do TED Talks, I want to do TED Talks to present my paintings like as a second, just as not a main thing, just a pretext to make people understand, like, okay, if you are able just to to pull down the energy level that is deeply in your heart, deeply in your guts, then you are able to draw, because it's exactly what happened to me without even being aware of it. You are able to draw what you need into your life, because this is all about, visualizing it, but it has to come from the heart. If it is not coming from the heart, without, limitations, like you don't think about anything, you just go for it, and it happens. I know it is not easy, and now I am trying to go back to it, but I can feel I am more, I am wiser with age. I have a daughter, I have some limitations I didn't have before. So now, I just want, I just want to combine everything I like, and to have my workshop again, and to just to make people, to have this TED talk of 15 minutes and showing my paintings. I will show you one or two, and I will give you my websites as well, and for example, I made a performance in 2010, and I remember in 2017 we were back with my husband from Egypt, and we were bankrupted, absolutely bankrupted. It was a disaster. And one lady contacted me by email. Extraordinary again. I have a lot of extraordinary inside this extraordinary story, And she told me, do you still have the painting I saw in the performance you made in 2010? It was 7 years after. I said, yes, but it is in Egypt. but I will bring to you. And she bought it when I needed money. She bought it like it. I made it come from Egypt, and I sent it to Marseille, and like it was, you know, again the field of energy. Like, okay, this is a attraction. So when we are talking about law of attraction and all these come from heart, and all these come from, you know, finally what is inside you, deeply, and you are not even asking questions to yourself. So let me show you one of the recent paintings. So now I am back to paintings, but I need a workshop, because the way I paint is not something I am it is not something like you know, like this, like I throw painting, like I do this, you know. I need space, I need to be dirty, and it is just, you know, so let me show you one of my favorite ones. I hope the colors will be because of but after you can make the website. Okay, you can go to the website. So I will just hold on. I will just change the background, thing. No, backgrounds and effects. So I don't know if you can see it. Not really well, I believe. But anyway, I will post it on the. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear well because of the camera thing and so on, you know. But anyway, I will show my website, and you will see, you know. So what I want to tell you is, whenever you feel something into your heart, just go for it, you know, and like you know, and start and help yourself with tools like sound, because of course I explored as an artist with an artistic approach. I explored a lot of things. I listened to shamanic Gregorian songs, shamanic songs. You know, like I was painting with these sounds, to, you know, to understand the effect on my vibration. I made a bungee jump and of 180 meters high to understand the effect of my painting. You know, I made some experiences to understand the really the effect on the body and on the energy on what I was listening. So my point here is, whatever your spirituality is, your God is, and you know, I believe in Jesus myself, but I discovered also that um, Jesus went to India for 12 years. Did you know that? And between 18 years, sorry, between 12 years old and 30 years old, and he went to India, and he finally, a lot of things that churches just do not share about finally the self meditation and the self power we have with just meditation and just, you know, making the flow up. So finally, you know, it is about making you connected to the rights, that's the heart thing that makes you go to your inner truth. your inner truth. So finally, your inner truth is the truth, and finally, it is the root and the essence where we are in. So whenever you are able to discover deeply this inner truth, you are on the right way finally. So this is my inspiration, and I really want to develop this talk as a TED talk again, to be on stage, to show my paintings, and to illustrate with my own experience what I experienced, because this is just so extraordinary, in the sense like it is not usual. What I experience is something like, oh my god, like what is this? Like you start painting and 1 month after you become a professional painter, recognized, selling paintings, with a workshop, with people coming into, like, what is this? Like, and the level of energy was so high, and after, I never experienced this back and again. And my aim is finally to be back to it, and I'm very happy and delighted to be able to share this, because this is really what I want to do deeply.